The city never slept, but Arav did, until she moved in next door. He first noticed her during one of his late-night snack runs. She was standing barefoot on the rooftop, unmoving, staring at the sky like she was waiting for something to answer back. Her long silver hair shimmered faintly under the streetlights, her eyes too still, too wide. He nodded as he passed, but she didn't respond, not even a blink. The next day, she knocked on his door. "I'm Varaya," she said. "I just moved into 4C. I'm a behavioral researcher." He glanced at the clipboard in her hands, then at the flawless symmetry of her face. Her voice was calm, measured, like someone reciting lines from a language they'd learned the night before. "You're studying people?" he asked. She smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. "Only the interesting ones." He laughed awkwardly. "Well, good luck with that." That night, as he worked through his code, he saw her again, not in person, through the peephole. She was standing in the hallway, facing his door, unmoving again. Just standing there for what felt like 20 full minutes before turning and walking away. He told himself it was nothing. Maybe she sleepwalked. Maybe she was just weird. But it didn't stop. In the elevator, she never pressed a floor number. She just rode with him, silent, watching. At the mailboxes, she always showed up exactly 30 seconds after he did, regardless of time. Once he caught her sketching. She didn't notice him behind her. On the paper was his face. Not once, but dozens of versions. Him smiling, him frustrated, him asleep at his desk. He made a noise by accident. She looked up, blinking slowly. "You have a very expressive face," she said. He stared at her. "Are you spying on me?" "No," observing. "It's different." He took a step back. "I don't like being observed." "I know," she said, softly. "That's what makes your reactions so pure." He shut the door without saying another word. Days passed. He told himself she'd get bored, move on to someone else. But Varaya didn't seem to exist outside his orbit. She didn't socialize. No one had seen her shop or eat. Her apartment light was always off, yet she never looked tired. Then came the dreams. He'd see her in the hallway, but in slow motion. Her eyes glowing faintly, her fingers reaching toward him. He'd wake with a pounding heart, drenched in sweat, convinced he'd been touched. The next day she was already waiting at his door when he left for work. "You're changing," she said, voice low. He frowned. "What?" "You're breathing, your cortisol levels, the dilation in your pupils when you see me." He gaped at her. "You're measuring me now?" "I don't need machines. I feel it." "So do you." His stomach twisted. He didn't want this, whatever it was. "I don't know what your deal is," he snapped, "but this isn't normal." Her eyes flickered, not with hurt, but curiosity. "What is normal?" she asked. "Is it normal to dream of someone you barely know? To reach out in your sleep and whisper their name?" He froze. "I never told you that," he said, barely a whisper. "You didn't have to." She stepped closer, her gaze no longer detached. "I was assigned to study human emotion. But something's wrong. It's not supposed to affect me." Arav stepped back, heart thudding. "You need help." "I need you," she replied. He slammed the door. But even then, hand shaking against the knob, breath caught in his throat. He wasn't sure which one of them scared him more. Arav didn't open the door for 3 days. He left for groceries. When he knew she wouldn't be there, timed his schedule to avoid the hallway. The elevator felt safer than the stairs, only because she never appeared inside. But that didn't stop her presence from creeping in. The building felt different now, colder, as if her absence created a vacuum his chest kept trying to fill. He kept glancing toward her door anyway. On the 4th day, the power flickered, not a storm. No city-wide outage, just their floor, and only his apartment. When he stepped out into the corridor, the lights above buzzed once, then dimmed. Varaya stood there, barefoot again, her eyes catching the last flicker of artificial light. "I wasn't going to knock," she said. "You're still here," he replied. "I'm not finished." He exhaled sharply. "You're interfering with the power now?" Her tone remained calm. "My biology interferes with electromagnetic systems when my stress rises. So now you're stressed. I haven't fed." He blinked. "What?" She hesitated. "My people don't require food the way yours do. We regulate through sensory bonds, touch, emotion, proximity. Your presence stabilizes me." He stared at her, completely still. "That's not normal," he said. "No," she agreed. "It's a problem." He turned to go, but her voice stopped him cold. "I'm dissolving." He paused. "What does that mean?" Varaya stepped closer. Under the hallway's emergency lights, her skin shimmered faintly, like a screen glitching. "We're not made to anchor in foreign atmospheres for long. My molecules begin separating, slowly at first. But once triggered, the process accelerates." He couldn't look away. "What triggered it?" "You." She reached for his hand but didn't touch. "It wasn't supposed to happen. You fit the resonance imprint by chance. 1 in several million. I thought observing would be harmless." His chest tightened. "So now what? You just attach yourself to me?" "It's not attachment. It's chemistry." He laughed bitterly. "Right. You're breaking apart unless I hold your hand. Great. I've already begun losing cohesion. My skin glows when I'm close to you because the bond stabilizes the fusion. If I go more than 72 hours without contact, I lose control. By hour 96, collapse begins." Arav ran a hand through his hair. He wanted to scream, or run, or ask 100 questions he'd regret. Instead, he opened his door. She followed, silent. Inside, the temperature dropped. She didn't shiver. She stood in the center of his living room like a statue, waiting. He threw a blanket over his chair and pointed to it. She sat, folding her legs beneath her unnaturally still body. "I need the truth," he said. She nodded. "You're alien. You bond with humans through touch. You can't survive if that bond's severed." "Yes." "And you picked me, why?" "I didn't choose. I reacted. Your emotional frequency aligned with my sensory imprint. It locked in." He felt lightheaded. "So what now?" Varaya tilted her head, studying him like a puzzle with one missing corner. "You decide." He scoffed. "I don't have your biology, but you're already showing symptoms." He stilled. "You've been sleeping less, feeling phantom sensations, dreaming vividly. Your neurochemical pattern is shifting. You've begun resonating back." He looked down at his hands. They trembled slightly. Was it fear or something deeper? "I hate this," he muttered. No. I hate not knowing if I want you or if your presence is rewriting my brain." She rose from the chair and moved toward him, stopping just short of contact. "Me too." Then she reached out, slowly, like he was made of glass, and touched his arm. Electric heat surged under his skin, like a heartbeat skipping the laws of physics. She stepped back immediately. His arm still burned where her fingers had been. He said nothing. Neither did she. But when she left moments later, she whispered, almost too soft to hear, "I'm sorry this is happening to you, but it's happening to me too." The next morning, Arav found a note under his door. A sketch of his face covered half the page, shaded with impossible precision. Below it, one line. "If I vanish, it's because I had no choice." No signature. But it didn't need one. He carried it around all day, folded tightly in his back pocket, as if the paper itself held her together. He told himself he didn't care, yet he checked the hallway every hour. By evening, the lights in 4C stayed dark. He knocked once. No answer. Again. Still. Nothing. Then he heard it, a soft, rhythmic hum, like a broken transformer struggling against silence. Faint at first, then growing steadily louder. He stepped back and looked up. Her window pulsed blue. Without thinking, he sprinted to the rooftop. She was there, kneeling, on the concrete, her body flickering like a dying hologram. Hair floated unnaturally, eyes unfocused, breath shallow, uneven. "Viraya," he whispered, crouching beside her. She blinked slowly, lips parting. "You came. You said you were dissolving. I didn't think it was literal. Containment failed," she said softly. "I tried to suppress the bond, thought distance might sever it. It didn't." "No," she whispered. "It deepened." Her skin sparked beneath his fingers as he reached for her wrist. She gasped as contact stabilized the shifting waves of light coursing through her. The strange humming slowed. Her body stilled. "You're regulating me," she said, "like gravity." Arav didn't speak. He didn't understand any of this. But his palm pressed tighter against hers anyway. "I can't keep doing this," he muttered. "I know. I can't keep pretending this isn't real. I never asked you to." "You didn't have to," he said bitterly. "You just stood there while I unraveled." She didn't flinch. "Because I'm unraveling too." A gust of cold wind cut through the rooftop. Viraya looked up at the sky, her pupils dilating into vertical slits. "There's something else," she whispered. "I didn't tell you everything." "Shocking. My presence here is monitored. If the bond completes, it triggers a recall." He stared at her. "Recall? My kind won't allow interspecies linkage to fully form. They'll come for me, reprogram or remove." Arav laughed once, humorless. "So I'm not just wrecking your biology, I'm getting you deported too." She turned toward him. Her expression changed, softer, nearly human. "You're not wrecking anything. You're completing it." The sentence hung between them like fog. He should have walked away. He should have told her to go, to run before things got worse. But his hand was still on hers, their fingers interlaced now. The warmth between their palms throbbed with invisible electricity. Then she leaned in, not fast, not bold, like a question, offered without words. Their lips brushed, Arav's mind short-circuited. He couldn't tell where the heat ended and the air began. The kiss wasn't long, barely a second, but it felt like a static storm burst through his chest. Then she pulled away, breathing harder. "I'm sorry," she said, voice shaking. "I wasn't supposed to do that." "Why did you?" "I needed to know." "Know what? If it was just my biology." "And?" Her eyes locked onto his. It wasn't. They stood in silence. The air between them vibrated. Somewhere below, a siren echoed, too far to matter. "You said they'd come for you," Arav murmured. She nodded. "If the bond solidifies, yes." "Is it solidified?" She hesitated. "It's starting to imprint into neural patterns, emotional cues, memory retention, shared dreaming. If it finishes, there's no reversal." "No cure," he whispered. "No escape," she corrected. "From you? From us." Arav swallowed hard. "Then what happens?" Viraya closed her eyes. "If we're separated after full bond, we decay." "That's insane." "It's truth." His fingers tightened around hers. "And if we stay together?" Her answer came with a tremor in her voice. "Then we belong to each other. Always." The weight of it crashed over him like a wave. He hadn't asked for any of this. Not the connection, not the dreams, not the slow, terrifying need he felt when she wasn't nearby. But now, as her skin glowed faintly under his hand, and her breath synced with his without trying, he knew. Whatever this was, it was no longer something he could deny. Not without breaking apart, too. The air felt different when Arav woke. He hadn't meant to fall asleep. let alone with her still beside him. But she hadn't moved either. Viraya sat on the floor near his couch, knees pulled up, arms around them, glowing softly like a sleeping flame. Her skin shimmered faintly in the early light, and though her eyes were closed, he could feel her pulse echoing in his chest. Something had shifted. He rose quietly, but her voice stopped him mid-step. "You're radiating distress." "I didn't." "Say anything. You didn't need to." He turned to face her. "How long have you been awake?" "Since before your dream ended." His jaw tightened. "So you saw it?" She nodded once. "And?" "It was beautiful," she said, "but terrifying." "I don't want to be possessed by someone else's biology," he said. "I want to choose what I feel." "I never meant to take that from you." "Then why does it feel like I'm losing control every time I'm near you?" She stood slowly, movement fluid, quiet as breath. "Because proximity amplifies resonance. Emotions intensify. Logic weakens. It's the design." He sighed, rubbing his forehead. "What if I don't want the design?" Viraya approached, not touching him, just close enough to pull his senses toward her. "Neither did I," she whispered. A chime rang through the apartment, sharp, unfamiliar, electronic. Arav. Tensed. "That's not my bell." "It's not from here," Viraya confirmed, already turning toward the window. He followed her gaze. Across the street, a black vehicle sat idle. Sleek, unmarked, humming faintly beneath its matte surface. Two figures stood nearby, facing the building, motionless. "Observers," she murmured. "They've found me. You said they'd come only if the bond activated. They came to stop it before it finishes. So what happens now?" "If they intervene before stabilization, I'll be extracted. Memories wiped. Assignment canceled." His heart thudded like a warning drum. "What about me?" "You'll forget me. Or worse, remember parts that make no sense. You'll dream about someone who never existed." He swallowed hard. "That sounds like hell." "I know." "Is there any way to stop them?" "If we complete the bond before they breach, it will lock. They can't remove it once sealed." "Then we do it," he said instantly. She looked stunned. "You don't even know what that means." "Explain." "It." Viraya stepped closer, her glow warming like dawn. "It's not just physical. It's a psychic exchange. Memories, fears, emotions, all poured between us without filter. Nothing stays hidden. No secrets. No walls." He considered that. "You'll see everything?" "Yes." "So will you." "Yes." He took a deep breath. "Then do it," she hesitated. "Once sealed, we're tethered. If I'm harmed, you'll feel it. If you die, I may unravel completely. Better than forgetting you. You'd rather burn with me than live without a memory?" "Don't ask me that," he whispered. She nodded once. "Then come here." He closed the distance, no hesitation. Her palms pressed gently to each side of his face. Light burst between them, not blinding but vast, like the edge of a star. His breath caught. Images flashed behind his eyes. Her world, her birth, starlight, liquid glass, a sky of twin moons. Then came her fear, aloneness so deep it howled. Her isolation among humans. The ache she never showed. The moment she saw him and knew her body had already chosen him. He gripped her wrists. His mind opened in response. His childhood unfolded before her. Bike rides, scraped knees, loneliness, in crowded classrooms. The first heartbreak, the endless silence that came after. A sob escaped her lips. Their skin burned where it met. Not from pain, but fusion. A resonance settling, deep and permanent. When the light dimmed, they were still. Standing, intertwined, breathless, changed. Arav felt her thoughts hum beneath his own. Not words. Echoes. Then a knock shook the door. Viraya tensed. "They're here," He grabbed her hand. We run. They'll track me. We make them chase us. She glanced at the window, calculating. 2 floors down, back alley exit. If we split after that, they'll have to divide forces. No, she blinked. I'm not leaving you. You might survive if you do. I'd rather not. Something flickered in her expression. Hope, pain, gratitude. They ran, down the fire escape, past rusted pipes, over rooftops slick with dew. The sun was just rising, casting gold over concrete. Behind them, the hum of machines rose. But so did the bond, and Arav no longer feared the unraveling. He had already chosen it. Arav didn't remember how far they ran, just that he never let go of her hand. They crossed alleys, rooftops, fire escapes, their lungs burning with cold air and adrenaline. The machines behind them didn't roar. They purred, like predators. Silent, calculated. Viraya finally collapsed beneath an old railway bridge, skin flickering between colors no human eye should recognize. Her chest heaved, breath shallow, pulse syncing erratically with his own. They're too close, she gasped. They'll extract me if I drop below threshold. Then stay conscious, he said, kneeling beside her. I can't lose you. Now. She reached for his cheek, fingers trembling. It's stabilizing. Barely. But you're starting to carry it too. He felt it, the weight of her biology curling into his nerves. Not just empathy, transference. I can handle it, he said. I won't break. Yes, you will. We both will. Overhead, drones passed. Their light didn't touch the shadows beneath the bridge. Yet Arav knew time had run out. They'll never stop, will they? No, she whispered. Once the bond locks, they either separate us or study us. Permanently. I'm done being studied. You were never supposed to be involved. He laughed bitterly. Neither were feelings. Silence stretched between them until her voice cracked through it. There's a protocol, an override. His eyes narrowed. Explain. If I initiate a complete collapse, they can't extract anything. Not me, not the bond. You mean self-destruct? She didn't answer. No, he snapped. We didn't come this far so you could disappear in a flash of light. If I don't, they'll dismantle your mind. You'll lose your identity piece by piece. Then we run again. They'll find us. Then we fight. Her smile was sad, but warm. You've changed. You changed me. She closed her eyes. The override won't affect you. I'll isolate the tether. You'll live. I won't agree. You don't get a vote. He grabbed her shoulders, eyes blazing. I chose this. I want you, not part of you. Not what's left after they finish tearing you apart. I want all of it. Her body shuddered. Then, without warning, a new sound pierced the air, sharp, low, mechanical. A shadow dropped from the bridge above. He turned just in time to see a figure land softly, no louder than a falling leaf. It wore no insignia. Its eyes glowed faintly violet. Not human, not quite machine. Stand down, the voice said. Neutral, female, final. Arav rose slowly, shielding Viraya. Step away from her. He didn't move. The agent raised a small orb, pulsing, like a heartbeat. This tool isolates bonds. If activated, she forgets you. Her system resets. You walk away clean. No, he said. You'll remember everything. She won't even know your name. Then don't use it. She agreed to this outcome when she disobeyed containment. Then you'll have to erase me too. The agent paused. Something flickered behind her gaze. Conflict, curiosity, or maybe doubt. You're willing to burn for her? I already am. The agent stepped closer. Viraya stirred behind him. Let me, she whispered, rising on shaking legs. He caught her arm. You don't have to. I do. Viraya faced the agent directly, body swaying like a flame in wind. You want data, she said. You want proof. The agent said nothing. Then here it is. Look at him. Listen to this tether. You'll never find another like it. What are you offering? A new path, Viraya replied. Let us go. Log the anomaly. Don't destroy it. The agent lowered the orb slightly. Why would I? Because some things aren't mistakes. They're evolution. A long silence followed. Then, slowly, the device dimmed. I'll report nothing, the agent said. Leave now. Never resurface. Viraya nodded once. We won't. The agent vanished. Into the dark, they didn't speak for a long time after. Just held each other under the broken concrete sky. Two pulses thudding in perfect unison. Later, much later, they stood before a quiet bus station outside the city, disguises in place, bags packed with what little they could carry. Where to? He asked. Anywhere no one asked questions. He nodded, taking her hand again. As the bus pulled away, she leaned into his shoulder. I almost lost you. You never had to fight alone. I'm glad you didn't let me forget. He kissed her temple, his own heart now glowing faintly. Beneath his skin, whatever world waited beyond the next stop, they would face it as one. 2 lives, 1 bond, and a future built not on design, but choice.